So today, what we're going to be talking about is outdated humans in air traffic control and how safe it is. So essentially, the automation of air traffic control through the next-gen process. So a good question to be asking is, what is air traffic control? Well, air traffic control are the people responsible for any air traffic going both ways, whether it's to or from, along any flight path. Therefore, flights follow directions from air traffic controllers to get from point A to point B, and they're required to land planes safely as well as help them take off safely. And they're responsible for any emergency situations that may occur while a flight is in progress. And therefore, based on a study the FAA put out, they must have an emotional coefficient of 0.73 or about 73%. Who can be an air traffic controller? Well, air traffic controllers tend to be smart and emotionally in control, as well as hardworking in a lot of contexts. An air traffic controller must have a high stress tolerance and high motivation, as they're dealing with a lot of stress on a daily basis, considering how many people's lives are in their hands. They have to deal with conflict resolution in case of an emergency going on in any given airspace that they may be working. And they must have a good memory, as air traffic controllers must know the area a plane is in, so if there's a severe weather condition or any other reason you might not see the plane, whether it's a broken transponder or what it may be, they can alert the pilot of how to get out of the situation safely and quickly. Why is ATC updating? Well, controller tools right now can't keep up with the separation technology runways, which is the distance two planes need to be from each other. Currently, it's 1,000 feet. What we're using right now to keep up with that is a transponder that uses infrared radar, which is when we have long range and poor visibility. However, GPS would be a better use of our resources. Due to the fact that about 50 airports in the US are dealing with 10 million passengers a day, bigger planes have been built to deal with the increase of people, and therefore we've had an increase in technology on the plane side, and controllers have to keep up with it. Unfortunately, before Next Gen was put into place, we have not had any updates since the 60s. So a question from why is it updating would be, how is it updating? Currently, what Next Gen is trying to put in place in the US is digital messages through the computer systems on the plane. So a controller types it, it's read back to the pilot in the plane. ATC has a program in development and early implication that allows pilots and ATC to display altitude, position, and radar of the planes back and forth through GPS. Also, multiple jobs of an everyday controller are becoming automated, therefore tracking planes, submitting warnings, and recording flights. Therefore, less people are needed in the towers to help with this. Why are updates dangerous to the public? Well, when ATC field is downsized and there's loss of funding, people in their work environment begin to be upset. Thus, resource loss, layoffs, and retirements lead to stress and poor performance on those still working. Also, due to the updates and technology, many pilots and controllers have to be retrained, which is another loss of money, and therefore there's less available controllers. As time goes on and more technology is invented, more hacking is likely to take place, and therefore every plane in the sky could be subject to be taken over remotely via the UAS systems that are also being put into place and the more automated AT.